The future has come to the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League, and boy, does it look fast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, as we are proud to bring to you the Cyrano Buckminster presents Concept Chaos, sponsored by Merch by Meekin.
Howdy!
What the? Ricky, what are you doing?
I know all you Funkhauser Diecast racing fans are just chomping at the bit to get to this next tournament, but we have some unfinished business to attend to. So without further ado, it's time to finish the bootlegger ride!
Grudge match.
Now, if you really thought we were gonna let that tie stand, you got another thing coming, and you obviously don't know Cousin Ricky. So now it's time to set a score between Bay City Diecast Racing's Bay City Daryl and Farrell Mod's Farrell Patrick.
Bay City Daryl is in his 1934 Chevy Master Coupe, and Farrell Patrick is sporting out in his 1936 Ford Coupe. It's Ford versus Chevy.
And to be sure that this rivalry is settled, we're doing the best of 5 races, as we have Bay City Daryl in that front inside lane, as he won the coin toss and has the inside advantage.
As Ricky said, it's going to be the best series of 5 as we are set and ready to go for race 1, which is now underway. As we watch him head down into turn 1, it's neck and neck, but Bay City Daryl has a slight lead over Farrell Patrick as Bay City Daryl is starting to pull away. Can Farrell Patrick catch up to him, or is Bay City Daryl going to hang on to that inside advantage? Down the super stretch into turn 4. They come down the final stretch. Bay City Daryl's going to have a decisive win over Farrell Patrick, who's having a little bit of trouble as he crawls across the line.
And that's right, put that big W on the board for Bay City Daryl and Team Chevy.
Well, it's safe to say the battle is far from over as we had a strong run there by Bay City Daryl. The question is, can Farrell Patrick answer back with it with a win of his own as he has that front inside lane as we are ready for race 2, which is now underway. Down the backstretch, and it's a strong run by Farrell Patrick as he has already taken a decisive lead into turn 2, down through the chicane. Oh, he almost loses it, but he hangs on to it. Down into turn 3, can Bay City Daryl catch up to him as they come down to the final stretch? Oh, Farrell Patrick is spun around, but he still hangs on to it as he comes across the line in first.
If Farrell Patrick keeps driving that car like that, he ain't just gonna spin out, he's gonna completely wipe out.
Well, you certainly don't win a head-to-head grudge match by playing it safe, and Farrell Patrick is leaving it all out there on the track as he ties it up for both drivers with a win apiece as we are set and ready for race 3, which is now underway. As they head down the backstretch, it's neck and neck, but Farrell Patrick has a slight advantage as they head down into the S-turns. Farrell Patrick is pulled away as looks like Bay City Daryl has trouble heading into turn 2. Farrell Patrick is all alone as he heads down the super stretch, down into turn 4. Oh, he gets spun around again, but he's able to hang on to it as he's going to come across the line in first and take up his second win.
Farrell Patrick is definitely pressing his luck, and I think that was all for show.
Farrell Patrick able to take a win from the outside lane, and he is now 1 win away from winning this grudge match. But can Bay City Daryl tie it up one more time and take us into race 5? Only one way to find out as we are set and ready for race 4. Out the gate and down the backstretch, they're neck and neck, but Farrell Patrick once again has that slight advantage. But here comes Bay City Daryl with a head of steam as he takes the lead in turn 2 through the chicane. Can he hang on to it? He does as Farrell Patrick gets loose as he heads into turn 3 down the super stretch. It's Bay City Daryl all by himself as it looks like Farrell Patrick got into trouble as Bay City Daryl's going to come across the line in first, and he's going to tie up this event.
See, I told you it was only a matter of time before Farrell Patrick's driver got him in trouble, and look what happened.
It definitely looks like he drove that car just a little too hard as we check out the Merch by Meekin replay camera. Here you see Farrell Patrick enter into turn 3 nice and smooth, but it looks like as he exits the turn, he oversteers as his car tries to correct, but he's unable to do it as he comes to a stop as Bay City Daryl is able to go across the line in first.
Well, folks, as I said, it's going to be the best series of 5, and it looks like we're going to be using all 5 races.
That's right, Ricky. It all comes down to this one final race to settle this grudge match between Farrell Patrick and Bay City Daryl. It's Ford versus Chevy as it's time for lap 5.
Come on, Team Chevy!
Down the backstretch one final time. It's Farrell Patrick with a slight lead, but here comes Bay City Daryl right back at him. They're still neck and neck heading into turn 2, but Bay City Daryl falls back as Farrell Patrick starts to pull away into turn 3. Can Bay City Daryl catch up to him as they're coming down to the final stretch? It's going to be Farrell Patrick coming across the line at first, followed by Bay City Daryl.
Dagnabbit, that ain't right. Somebody check his car for illegal substances. I want to recount.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, Ricky, but there will be no recount today as it looks like Ford and Farrell Patrick will be first on race day. Now don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back in just a minute to start the rest of this show. If you're familiar with the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, you may have noticed a brand new building taking up real estate along our skyline. It's our brand new press box provided by Merch by Micken in conjunction with Wet Work Customs. That's right, Merch by Micken, known for its custom metal die-cast signs and much more, has now brought us a brand new line of custom-made buildings for your track at home. And the choices don't just stop at personalized press boxes. They also have your custom garages with working overhead doors and dealerships made specifically to your specifications. So if you want something like that for your own custom track, make sure to go to Merch by Micken. And hey, got one more thing for you. That's right, your eyes aren't deceiving you. From Merch by Micken, it's the very first limited line of Funkhauser Diecast Racing League t-shirts. They're available now in multiple sizes, so make sure to go to merchbymicken.com, connect on Facebook, or call and order yours today, because like the cars here at the old Yadkin Valley Speedway and my announcing skills, they're going fast. We welcome you back here to the Funkhauser Diecast Racing as we check in on Farrell Patrick celebrating his win with the fans.
But we know this aren't what you fans came here to see. It's time to get down to the big show. What the heck?
Oh my God, Ricky, what did you do now? What button did you push?
What? I know you're not looking at me.
Looking at you? Come on, Ricky, I can't even see my own hand in front of my face.
Well, I definitely can't stand around here and do nothing while we sit in the dark, so I'll be right back. Ow!
Oh, Ricky, that's my nose.
Sorry. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Oh, dear God, where did he run off to now? Wait a minute, what is this button right here? Don't adjust your screens, folks. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. That's right, night racing has come to the old Yadkin Valley Speedway as the future has arrived here for the Cyrano Buckminster presents Concept Chaos. You've been waiting and the time is finally here as we bring you the cars of the great designer's imagination. The cars meant to bring about the future, but never made it to the production room floor. Now those cars get to go head to head as we find out what could have been and determine which concept rules them all. But before we get underway, we have a little fun here with 6 non-qualifiers ready to prove their worth. Let's get down for driver introductions. Starting us off on the pole position, representing Ruckus Racing in his 2005 Acura HSX, it's Johnny Smack. Starting on the outside pole in his 2010 Chevy Camaro for FD Racing, it's Slick Fitty. Starting third, rolled up in his super sleek 2003 Pontiac GT03 for American Outlaw Racing, it's Outlaw. He'll be rolled up to the grid starting in the 4th place spot for MWAI Racing in his 2009 Corvette Stingray, it's Budo Head. Starting in the 5th place spot driving a 1962 Ford Mustang, driving for Beaverworks, it's Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
And finally, driving a 1954 Chevy Corvette Nomad. Wait a minute, that's my Nomad. Oh my God, that's Cousin Ricky! Oh my God, Ricky! Did you seriously break into my garage again and steal one of my show cars?
Hey, like I said in the past, if you ain't using it, it's going to waste.
Ricky, do you have any idea how rad that car is? Get back here!
Sorry, can't talk, gotta race.
Oh, if I didn't have to commentate this race. Anyways, down the backstretch they go in Slick Fitty with a slight lead over Johnny Smack as they head down in the turn 2. Voodoo Head is giving Slick Fitty a huge shove as they head down in the turn 3. Can he make the pass as they head down the super stretch? Down in the turn 4. They're still fighting for it, but it looks like Slick Fitty is going to take lap 1, followed by Voodoo Head, and then it's going to be Outlaw going across the line in 3rd as it looks like we had trouble in the first lap and my car is already wrecked. Oh, Slick Fitty puts out a track time of 16.624 seconds as we check out the cars down here at the entrance of pit road as they are piled up. Let's check out the Merch by Micken replay camera as here you see Voodoo Head giving Slick Fitty a huge push in the turn 2 as you see the other cars trying their best to keep up these two, but they are just just pulling away as you watch him exit the chicane. Slick Fitty is trying his best to hold off Voodoo Head as they enter in the turn 3. Voodoo Head's trying his best to get around, but Slick Fitty is making his bumper extremely wide as he matches Voodoo Head move for move down the super stretch heading into turn 4. Voodoo Head makes one more move, trying for the inside, but Slick Fitty makes one more block as they come down to the final stretch. Voodoo Head is not being able to make the pass as Slick Fitty is going to come across the line in first, and there you see the pile up just behind them.
Looks like Outlaw.
Jeez, Baba Joe, where did you come from?
Cousin Ricky showed me his secret entrance and said I should help you out.
Of course he did. As you were trying to say, it looks like Outlaw came across the line in third, but as you watch the cars behind him, he just barely got past that pile as those cars came to a huge crash behind him.
Was that your 54 Nomad in that pileup? Why'd you let Cousin Ricky have that?
Baba Joe, I thought you would know me better than that. You know I would never let Cousin Ricky have my car.
Well, why is he behind the wheel?
Obviously, he found his way back into my garage and took it without my permission.
Well, it sounds like you should lock your garage.
Oh, dear God. Anyways, it's lap 2 and Slick Fitty has a nice lead over the other drivers as you have Outlaw and Voodoo Head fighting for second place behind him. Voodoo Head makes a nice charge into turn 2. Oh, but it looks like he gets loose heading into turn 3. Slick Fitty is broken loose as he's coming down to the line. Oh, he hits the wall hard, but he's going to come across the line in first.
Wow.
Whoa, too close to call for second place as Johnny Smack comes in fourth, followed by Cousin Ricky, and then Lieutenant Dan bringing up the rear.
And another nice 16-second time being put down by Slick Fitty.
Let's go back to that merch by Meekin replay camera as here you see Slick Fitty enter into turn 2 with Voodoo Head and Outlaw right there on his tail. You see Voodoo Head trying his best to make a charge onto Slick Fitty as he enters the chicane, but watch him as he enters down into turn 3. His car gets a little loose as he starts to get sideways as Outlaw tries to make a pass on the outside, but he's unable to make it as here you see Slick Fitty just pulls away down into turn 4.
It looks like Slick Fitty has it all to himself as he's going to be able to come down the line, but you see him hit the outside retaining wall, and then he regains control just before crossing the line.
And as he comes in first, all eyes are on the second place battle as they come down to the line and freeze frame it. It looks like Voodoo Head just barely beats out Outlaw, and then just behind him we can see Cousin Ricky bouncing my car off the walls as he comes across the line. Oh, dear God.
If you really didn't want Cousin Ricky driving the car, why'd you leave the garage unlocked and the keys in the ignition?
Do what? I did no such thing. Who the heck told you that? You know, Papa Joe, nope, don't even answer that. I just figured it out for myself. You don't have to say another thing. Lap 3 is now underway. Down the backstretch they go, and once again, Slick Fitty has a nice lead over the other drivers. As here you see Outlaw right there on his tail, giving a shove in the turn 2. But here comes Voodoo Head. Oh, Slick Fitty gets loose. He rides the ramp, but he still hangs onto it as they're head-to-head heading on the turn 4. Voodoo Head takes the lead as they come down to the line. He's going to come in first, followed by Slick Fitty. Then it's going to be Outlaw, Cousin Ricky, Johnny Smack, and then Lieutenant Dan bringing up the rear.
Talk about your exciting battle for the lead.
Absolutely, Bubba Joe. As we check out the merch by Meekin replay camera, here you see Slick Fitty goes out in a turn 2 as you watch Outlaw gives him a huge shove, but here comes Voodoo Head challenging for the lead in the chicane. But watch here, you see Slick Fitty, he gets loose, his car pops up, he rides the wall. Watching one more time, he goes up, he rides the wall, and then you see Voodoo Head trying his best to keep up with him as you see Slick Fitty saves it heading down into turn 3. The battle is now on for the first place position as Voodoo Head has him up top as they go down the super stretch down into turn 4. Voodoo Head now having the inside advantage. He's going to secure that lead as they're going to come down to the line. He's going to coast across that line, taking that first place spot.
I'd say props still need to be given to Slick Fitty as he's able to save his second place spot from an almost disastrous finish.
You like saying that name Slick Fitty, don't you?
Well, I have to admit, Slick Fitty just rolls off the tongue.
Well, speaking of rolling, we're rolling on with this event as we now have a new leader as Voodoo Head sits in that front inside lane, but Slick Fitty hasn't fallen far. He's right there next to him as we are set and ready for lap 4. As they head down to the turn 1, Voodoo Head has a nice lead, but Outlaw is not far behind him as he's right there. Here comes Slick Fitty challenging for that second place spot as they are fighting in the chicane. Oh, trouble! Outlaw gets spun around as Voodoo Head gets loose. Outlaw hits him from the rear as they're coming down to the line. Cars are all over the place as Voodoo Head's going to come across the line first, followed by Outlaw in second. Then it's going to be Slick Fitty, Johnny Smack, Cousin Ricky, and here comes Lieutenant Dan slowly coming across the line.
Talk about your total chaos in that lap.
You're not kidding, as we're definitely going to have to check out the merch by Meekin replay camera on that one as Voodoo Head is in the lead as he exits chicane, but keep your eye on Slick Fitty and Outlaw as they're battling for the second place spot. Slick Fitty gets right underneath Outlaw's rear quarter panel as he gets spun around heading into turn 3.
And while that's going on, we keeping our eyes on Voodoo Head as he gets loose.
We also see Slick Fitty clip the tire barrier as here you see Outlaw hits the back end of Voodoo Head who just regains control of his his car. Meanwhile, Outlaw's trying his best to straighten his car out as he goes backwards. As we watch the final approach, here you see Boodoohead's able to keep his car clean as he comes across the line at first. Then you see Outlaw trying his best to hold off everybody as he's going to make it across the line in second, followed by Slick Fitty in third.
And with 2 laps to go, looks like we have a new challenger for that first place spot.
Right you are, Bubba Joe, as Boodoohead is still your leader, but Outlaw is now sitting there on the outside lane. Will Boodoohead be able to hold him off, or will Outlaw be able to take the lead as lap 5 is now underway? Off the grid and down the backstretch they go, heading into turn 1. It's Boodoohead with Slick Fitty right there behind him as Outlaw is starting to fall behind. Boodoohead is pulling away as Slick Fitty makes a move underneath Outlaw as he takes the second place spot. But all eyes are on Boodoohead. He's going to come across the line in first, followed by Slick Fitty in second. Then it's going to be Outlaw, Cousin Ricky, Johnny Smack, and Lieutenant Dan.
Outlaw slips up and Slick Fitty just slides right in there for that second place spot.
You know what, Bubba Joe? I've got to be honest. You just seem a lot looser than you normally are tonight.
Well, Cousin Ricky did have me try his new brew before he left.
And once again, nothing more needs to be said. That gives me all the information I need, as there you watch Slick Fitty make the move underneath Outlaw to take the second place spot. Meanwhile, Boodoohead is pulling away as he heads down the turn 4 down to the final stretch. He has open roads in front of him as he's going to have no trouble. He's going to come across the line in first, followed by Slick Fitty, and then it's going to be Outlaw coming in third, and then Cousin Ricky in fourth. Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We are down to the final lap of this pre-tournament event as Slick Fitty has moved back up into the second place spot to challenge the leader, Boodoohead, for that win. Will Boodoohead be able to hang on to it, or will another driver take it? Only one way to find out. The white flag is out. This is it. They head down the Patras one final time in a turn 1 as Boodoohead still has that lead, but Outlaw and Slick Fitty are still there on his tail, but Boodoohead is still able to hang on to it. Oh, looks like we have trouble heading into turn 3. There's a car in a tire barrier. That's my car!
Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Oh, down to the line. It's going to be Boodoohead coming in first, followed by Outlaw, and it's just a pile-up behind him, and I think my car is destroyed.
Don't worry, Funk. I'm okay.
Ricky, you might just want to get out and run.
I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to talk about the cars down here on the super stretch. They're in a pile-up as my car is sitting down here in a tire barrier, completely destroyed. Oh, my God, Ricky.
Funk, you just seemed a little distressed, so how about I just take the replay camera here? As here you see Boodoohead has a nice lead heading into turn 2 as the battle for second place is on behind him as Slick Fitty and Outlaw are fighting from that second place spot. As once you can hear, you see Slick Fitty gets Outlaw turned as they head down into turn 3. Unfortunately, here you see Cousin Ricky trying his best to get around him, but Slick Fitty pushes Cousin Ricky down into the tire barrier as the tires go everywhere, exploding as he gets clipped by Johnny Smack as they head down the super stretch. Unfortunately, the cars are not able to break loose from each other as they all come to a halt, but Boodoohead and Outlaw are able to make it down to the line.
Bubba Joe, I appreciate that, but I might as well face reality as here we watch one more time Cousin Ricky trying his best to get underneath Slick Fitty as they come down into turn 3, but Slick Fitty puts him right into the tire barrier as then he gets struck by Johnny Smack as the other cars make it around him, and unfortunately my car is completely totaled and I'm going to kill Ricky. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope at least you all enjoyed this event and didn't lose your minds like I did, as here are your final results. Cousin Ricky is going to be in 6th place, followed by Lieutenant Dan in 5th. Then it's going to be Johnny Smack in 4th, followed by Slick Fitty in 3rd. Then it's going to be Outlaw in 2nd, and your winner of this 6-lap pre-tournament event, it's going to be Boodoohead. Well, race fans, that's going to do it for us here today, kicking off the festivities for the Cyrano Buckminster Presents Concept Chaos. As always, we love to thank you for being here and watching the content, and if you like the content you see, please remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to share. Help us beat the YouTube algorithm and come back for more as we bring you more exciting racing action here from the old Yadkin Valley Speedway, home to the Winston-Salem Racing Series and the Funkhauser Diecast Racing League. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to visit Merch by Meekin for all your custom metal die-cast signs and much more. Merch by Meekin. Gotta love those signs. And of course, as always, want to give a big shout out and thank you to all the members of the Funkhauser Fan Club for your contributions to helping our channel grow. We appreciate you being a part of the channel and hope you guys enjoy the content.
We'll catch you guys next time. Cousin Ricky out.
Oh, you got a lot of nerve. Get back here, Ricky. Ricky!